Welcome back to It Tastes Like Burning. This is Matt.
This is Jesse.
And per the usuals, if you ever feel like reaching out to us, find us on ittasteslikeburningcast@gmail.com. You can always find us on YouTube at It Tastes Like Burning Cast. And you can always look for links and descriptions and merch and bio and all that stuff in the bottom links of YouTube or these podcasts. And we'd appreciate any support you give us there on Patreon. We always are providing quality products made in American factories.
Sorta.
For the most part.
Yeah. Finished in an American factory.
That's basically American made.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, you been busy, I've been busy.
Yeah. Understatement of the decade.
Anything hot and new and fresh on the presses, or do you want to just dive off into it?
I don't know. I can't keep up.
No, I understand that too. So, I think we'll kind of have just kind of like a random day today. And I think one thing I want to highlight here is two main things. The problem with becoming successful is that you become a target. And with that, you got to keep in mind that as anything happens with your organization, that you need to generally keep in touch with your membership. And
ask Elon.
Yeah, ask Elon. Okay. And generally just keep a good pulse on the membership and never miss an opportunity to tell them thank you and tell them at how good of a job they're doing. Because I can tell you, at least from my perspective, I don't do that nearly enough. It's also not really my personality or disposition, but I think that's one thing that as chiefs, never miss an opportunity to tell someone they're doing a good job, you appreciate their work they're doing, and that you can, for a lack of better words, thank them for their service. What do you think?
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, it's always interesting how you get that big brother kind of syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start, no matter what it is, whether it's just a life thing or whatever, you start doing pretty good, and then, people that you associate with that are not doing good, well, then they start hating you or resenting you. And I don't know how to do that. I don't have that bone in my body, so it's difficult for me to understand that. But you see it in a lot of things, right?
I think a lot of it comes from just the general social media bullshit now.
Yeah,
I really do mean
prior to that. I mean, it existed prior to that, because I can remember years ago where, there was no social media, but still the same things happened. It didn't happen in a public space. There is that clear distinction. It didn't happen in public view. It happened behind closed doors, or it happened when people were the rumor mill got it back to you, right?
Right. Well, and I think a certain part of this also is that I will argue that generally people are not positive as a whole. And generally, the vast majority of anything that you perceive as competition or as a quasi threat, that's a really bad word here, but just I'm going to double down on the competition part.
Yeah, no, there is that competitive nature, especially with men, especially with men who are doing things that can lend themselves, athletic type things,
right? Or just the trivial pursuit,
yeah,
flexing. And it doesn't matter really what the flexing is. But I think there's a real missed opportunity there that during difficult times, stressful times, challenging times, where the correct answer isn't to double down on the competition or belittlement or negative vibes or some sort of either justified or unjustified response, to sit there and just completely dismantle it and disarm it and disengage and just focus on the positive with the organization.
Yeah. I also think that there's the stereotypes and the uh some of those type things that still play into it no matter what, right? You get typecast for a role. People think of you a certain way or your organization as a certain way. And they always go to the far end of the spectrum on whatever thought it is. Right? So if they think you're a bunch of redneck hillbillies, then immediately, no matter what happens, it's always redneck hillbillies.
Right. Right. Yeah. And the inverse of that is to, and again, it goes back to that competitive streak where you try and one up, outmaneuver, out bravado, your perceived competition. And, the one thing, like my pro tip on that is that if you're going to do that, you better have all the information.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that can really bite you in the ass.
That can really come back to hurt you in the long run. And sitting there, and trivializing things and events, for the sake of brinksmanship and trying to one up each other can really be a path to tears and really ultimately lead to pretty negative long-term outlooks and consequences.
I'm sitting here reflecting and thinking back, and like we've always had, you and I have the same thought process on kind of armchair quarterbacking calls and stuff like that. And we just don't like to do that, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with a debrief and learning, but I don't think a debrief or that starts with, well, this is how I would have done it, right?
Right.
Uh, I think in those situations you got to look at the positives as much as the negatives, and realize that at the end or in hindsight you have more information than what you had at the beginning.
Right.
And a lot of times, if you don't look for that information or that knowledge, you never have it. So you just are running off of a preconceived notion that fits what you're trying to, your stated goal, right? We can all, it happens all the time in politics and in the media, where it not related to the fire service, but just in general, where a news story takes a turn towards a predetermined outcome.
Right.
That's not even close to what the actual outcome was, right? It's not even in the same ballpark of what's really happening. Uh and I don't want to go down the political road on that, but it happens all the time. You're seeing it right now in the news.
Oh, sure. No. It's and right before we started this podcast, we were kind of generally dancing around the discussion of the culture with social media. And what I would argue is that social media has gotten people to sit there and be ultra controversial or ultra aggressive or think that they're laying down facts. And if you don't have the information, you're going to get torched alive on it.
Well,
And
Because it's an amplification of the last person that talked to them, right?
And then at the end of the day, even if you do have all the information and pretend that you're right, and you might very well be, the fact of the matter is how receptive are individuals when you walk up and spit in their face.
Most of them don't like it when I do it.
They it really is. I mean, and obviously we're speaking from something that we've just recently experienced. And we're not going to talk about it here. But yes, you can be all curious and wistful and wonder what the hell we're actually referencing, and I don't care. What we're actually trying to do is highlight is the actual betterment of the organization and the entities around you that you work with. And I will say this. I think the ability to not be afraid to pick up a phone, because some of these conversations you can't have over text message, and you can't really have over Facebook Messenger, and you can't really have over email. The best way to have them is in
Over
person.
a hole in the ground with a shovel. Oh, wait.
Yeah, no, that's a different podcast.
Okay.
That's the other podcast. Yeah, and you know, there's a certain point there where it may be mighty tempting to fire off an email or a text message, but you need to have that conversation at the bare minimum over a phone.
And, and I have a tendency to holler bullshit a lot quicker than you do. I'll go to the fight. It doesn't bother me. Like, we can roll on the ground. I don't care.
And I am patient to my own detriment.
Yeah.
I am patient like the frog in the boiling pot.
Yeah. Yeah. And somewhere in between there's a pretty good balance. And
Right.
I think we hit that. But, I'll fire off that email, but I'll do it in
Yes,
huh?
Yes, you will.
And it generally gets the attention, but I won't fire off an email that's full of conjecture.
Right.
All fact. 100% fact. It may end in conjecture, but it is fact-based. This is what happened. This will not happen again, period.
And let's go down that rabbit hole real quick. Like I said,
it has not happened again.
To my detriment, I won't go that route. I won't. It's just not who I am. You can call it passive aggressive. You can call it not conflict oriented. You can call it whatever you want. I won't go as far as to say burying my head in the sand. That is not that.
It's not that.
But the difference is like in the exact opposite end of that. The real problem is that when I do come forward, I'm going to sound like an arrogant butt here, but I'm right.
Yeah. No.
And
I won't. I'm the same thing. I won't fire off that email unless I know I'm right.
Yeah.
Right. Gene's the same way. Like, he'll fight to the death, but he's going to know he's right.
Right.
It's not an assumption. It's not, I think this, I know I'm right. And I won't get you on the feeling part of it. The feeling part of it's not what the argument will be over.
No. Yeah.
It'll be over literal exacting facts and policy.
And I think the kicker with this is that it really actually doesn't matter how big or how small your organization is. You might be New York City. You might be Uncle Knick-Knack's bait and tackle shop in VFD, staffing of 3. But the fact of the matter is that if you have an issue, ultimately, you have to be able to come out and actually address some of the problems that you're encountering. Because if you don't address them and all you do is complain about them with your other 2 members, you're in a really bad spot doing that. And you've got to be able to realize that even if you're not conflict oriented, that there's still nothing wrong with physically calling and addressing your problems. I know lots of career chiefs that aren't in your face aggressive, spitting nails and fire and brimstone. They're really good guys. They're really soft spoken, and they do a really good job of communicating when it's needed. And same for the volunteers. I know a lot of really good volunteer chiefs, soft spoken, easygoing, and I wouldn't say that conflict is their exact forte, but when they need to make a point, quite frankly, they're very eloquent in the point that they make.
I don't care for the going around in the sub shadows, kind of subverting stuff.
Yeah, well, treating it like a TV show where it's all like, like
Dun,
House of
dun, dun.
Cards. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't do that well at all. I'd rather charge head on into whatever it is and fix the problem and move on. Because what I've learned is most of the time when you fix the problem, it's a lot easier after that.
Right. Well, and it goes back to something that I always say. The sharpest knife cuts the cleanest.
Yeah.
There's when you got a problem, you need to address it. Address it. Don't bring your passion, don't bring your bravado, don't be all stompy and mad, but address it. And I mean, at the end of the day, the audience that you're speaking to, they're quite frankly, they're going to appreciate it too.
Yeah.
And being able to effectively communicate isn't only an adulting thing, it's a major adulting thing. And a lot of people screw that up. Not just in the fire service, in the general
in life.
life. Yeah. A lot of people can't effectively communicate. And I think that there's a lot of missed opportunities, particularly in the fire service, where we miss the opportunity to communicate with not only our citizens, not only city or county government, not only our firefighters, but even at a national and national level, regional level.
Well, I mean, we are kind of the exception to a lot of rules, right?
Yeah, and the longer I do this, the more apparent that becomes.
Yeah. So we good, better, or worse, we have gained notoriety,
Unfortunately.
right? And it's on purpose.
Also, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's definitely
We're
on
like the
purpose.
dog that caught the car.
Yeah.
We wanted to catch the car,
We thought we could do it.
but we did.
Turns out the car had to tap the brakes for a squirrel, and we caught it, right?
Oh.
And
Now
we got the car.
There's a lot of flailing.
Yeah. But it was for a purpose. It was for a purpose to bring membership, one, to basically say that this does work. It can happen.
Right.
Everybody that's spreading doom and gloom, and I hate doom and gloom.
Oh no, I'll tell you what, if there's one thing that I have definitely moved on in the last 2 years, particularly 2 years. I'll tell you, there's one thing that I'll come out pretty aggressive on is the classic, why are you volunteer and why are you only volunteer?
The other one go off on is no one really wants to do this anymore. We can't. It's
Yeah.
and it's like no, that's not true. I know it's not true. I know all these things are not true. Uh, and are we by any stretch of the imagination perfect or the perfect example? No, God, no,
No.
heavens,
No,
no.
God, no. We still got a lot to grow, a lot to learn, a lot to build, a
A lot of
lot to
problems to
develop.
fix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, Christ. We're,
Far, far, far.
yeah.
But realize that the lifting up of the organization is truly the lifting up of the membership.
Right.
That's what it's about. It's not about Matt Hohan or Jesse Slaughter. We don't really either one of us give two shits about ourselves. It's not about that. Oh, it's about the members and telling the member story and understanding what it can be, right?
The longer I am chief, the more I realize at how insignificant I am, other than trying to do everything in my power to make sure that my people are equipped and trained. That is,
And I'll add one more thing to that. And have the self-confidence to do the job.
and let's add one more thing. The ability to recognize the support structure they need to keep them motivated and incentivized to continue to enjoy the community that they're protecting.
Yeah.
That's like that's it. If we could ever do that, any of those at 90%, I would say that we're perfect.
Yeah.
And that's the more I do it, the longer I do it, the more I realize that arguably the chief is the single most like useless, valueless, like
Oh yeah, 100%.
nothing.
And I
Like
think
my sole purpose is to make sure that the memberships are safe and happy, equipped and trained, and capable of responding for the community.
and the farther you go up that chain, the and truly the less value you bring to the table.
Yeah.
It is, because for me it was a hard decision to move from that training position into the assistant chief position, because the training position has like definite finite purpose and
Value.
and
Right. Well,
immediate
I can already tell you
effects.
this. It would never have happened if we wouldn't have had Gene.
Yeah, like it's
Period.
that was a really hard decision to make.
Gene and everyone else that's in that supporting role,
Of training.
officer role, of training.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's it's so different because that's such a fulfilling role that has like every day there's all these great things, and you see the light bulbs going off and you have the immediate gratification of somebody learning something or advancing themselves to a better place, to a position where most of the time I work on policies, right?
Or putting out internal fires.
Right. And I farmed out a bunch of that through committees and stuff. So it's so difficult to make that transition and know that you're still valuable and you're still doing the Lord's work over here, but it's just not as fulfilling. It's definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, here's the really cool thing. I work for a fantastic company that, God bless them, they give me a whole bunch of awesome opportunities. And I get to talk to big career departments. I get to talk to small career departments. I get to talk to combination departments, and I get to talk to volunteer departments. And it's funny, those departments have no clue how much I enjoy talking to them.
Oh yeah, no, that's for
Like,
me. That's the
I absolutely just live for stumbling into a department career combo volunteer that's actually got their crap together and doing really well.
yeah.
Now, nothing against the career departments. I would argue 98% of them have their stuff together and they're ready to go. Combo, I'd argue
50, 50, 50. 75-25.
probably more like 85, 90%
Ah,
really has their stuff together. Um, and then volunteer. And I would argue that
are we at the 50-50?
no, I would actually go higher than that.
Really? Oh, awesome.
I would actually
You're
go
more
to
optimistic than me.
no. These are true numbers. Okay. I would argue that 75% of them are good. Okay. Hey, maybe even a hair higher than that. But they're lost. So what ends up happening is that, well, they just continue down the path because that's the path.
It's the way we've always done it.
And in Texas, I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of departments that I've stumbled into that are really, I mean, they're really good departments. Like, they're really pulling crap together. And I get I get a unique opportunity to hear their discussions. Um Starting locally, I would argue that our entire county, they're really good. They really are.
Yeah.
Um, they really are. Uh, North Shore on the north side of Dallas, Fort Worth, they're in Coke County. Probably have zero listeners there. Man, they're figuring it out. Valley View. It's been a little bit since we talked to them, but I they were having the right discussion.
I talked to Seth at conference a little bit.
Did you?
Did. Yeah.
Robinson.
Yeah.
Just an absolute star
Workhorse.
on the horizon.
Yeah.
Wichita West.
Yeah.
Jesus. I have so much to learn from that chief, Ryan Fetzer. It's absurd. We're completely different organizations, but what he does for his membership, what he does with fundraising, what he does with grants, just incredible. There's several departments, oddly enough, in the panhandle of Texas. I'm going to focus on volunteer. Dalhart. Now I'm going to call Dalhart kind of like the epicenter, but, and God, shame on me, I'm going to forget 10 departments here. But Hartley, there's a department in New Mexico called Sudan. Text line, I think Stratford. Guys, I'm so sorry if you're listening. Like, they have this really cool regional thing going where they're doing a regional academy, and they're trying to figure that out.
And it even goes into what's the other one up there? Semino.
Oh, yeah. No. So Seminole, Andrews, Kermit, more in the Midland area, Midland, Odessa, really strong.
They call that
Monahans. Throw
they
Monahans
call
in
that
there.
the Permian Basin.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Caprock, Permian Basin.
Yeah.
Like, there's some really strong VFDs down there. Marathon, Alpine, Terralingua, Marfa. They may all be in Brewster County, but they might be in Brewster and Jeff Davis. Guys, I'm sorry, it's Texas is a big state, and I don't know all the counties yet.
And I know this list can go on and on and on because I know of 100 more, right? But other than Matt Hohan going to talk to all these people, there's got to be something else to tie all these departments together to where they're learning from each other and they're growing with each other and they're working with each other. Yeah,
so I assume you're talking about SFFMA?
That's what we would hope it would be, right? Like that's the thing. And I think it's a lot of departments have drifted away from that. And I think they're starting to trickle back into it. But that's what that's for, right? Am I just wrong thinking that?
No. I would argue SFFMA,
Struggles,
NVFC, and VFIS. If you're not involved with all three, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You're just wrong. Hell. Christ, I'll even throw Teeks in there.
It's so hard because
and Texas Forest Service.
Yeah. What kind of has drifted all these people apart from each other? It's just kind of the breakdown of some of these traditions and organizations through the years.
Oh shit, that's an entire that's its own podcast.
Right. Oh yeah. No, definitely.
I mean, SFFMA had its struggles. VFIS has been the Rock of Gibraltar.
But they're also taking your money, so they're insurance, but they're a good resource and they have good people working for them that are there to help you.
Yes. Fantastic people. I would argue Teeks is a forgotten resource that people aren't taking enough advantage of literally at the local level because they'll come in and do your training.
I also think that Teeks is they've struggled. There's no doubt they've struggled, but they've struggled for a while now, and it's somewhat self-inflicted. They got bigger than what the good old boys that they used to be, right? They became a for lack of better words, a giant corporate structure. And giant corporate structure and volunteer fire don't necessarily go with each other very well.
Right.
And so they've got some gap bridging to do there.
Yes. Meanwhile, Texas Forest Service, who I would argue has been there for the VFDs
100%,
consistently and 100% doesn't get enough love. And the Texas Forest Service has been fantastic to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. They just try to limit their scope more than probably any of the others because they're there for the specific things they're there for.
Right.
And they don't typically reach outside of that box. It's all well and good, and
you know another part of this. Sorry to interrupt you. the fact of the matter is that Texas is so progressive in the way that it handles emergency response at a local, regional, district, statewide level.
Right.
Um,
I mean, it
and
is the example, right?
yes,
It's the example.
no, it's blowing everyone out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, hell, our grocery stores do better than most
Right.
agencies.
Nod to HEB,
Yeah,
more beneficial than FEMA.
yeah. And I'm gonna throw this out there. If you don't listen to the Fat Electrician or watch him on YouTube, you should go find the HEB video from the Fat Electrician. Absolutely phenomenal video. Matt was watching it earlier. I watched it a couple days ago. Sent it to him. There's a story there. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go watch that. Fat Electrician, you owe us for a plug.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things in this state of Texas that are actually in place for a VFD's success. And it's really conflicting to me when I encounter someone that just abjectly says no to everything.
Yeah.
And it is out there. It is out there where they're just like, no, we don't want that. And it's like, oh my God, you don't want trucks, air packs, equipment, skid units,
Training,
training.
leadership development.
Right.
Yeah. On
And on and on.
insurance.
Yeah. Insurance, good insurance, customizable insurance. Yeah. I do. I occasionally find myself at a hard pause because it's like, ooh, at what point do I lecture versus inform?
Yeah. I get that. I tend to go lectury. I can become the preacher on the pulpit pretty
Yeah.
quick.
Unfortunately, I do that.
Yeah. You know, but it's fun. I throw this out here too. If you're in the greater San Angelo area, Tom Green County, the Concho Valley, what is referred to as the Hill Country District of SFFMA, Saturday, uh, August 2nd, Matt and I will be there at a meeting, 9 a.m. at the San Angelo Fire Training Facility. You want to come meet us, hear what we have to say? I think we're probably going to speak a little bit at this meeting. I know I will, but if you're in that area and that's part of your district, man, come to that meeting. It's important. They're trying to get things back going over there. I know we have listeners in that area. Uh, make it an effort to come there.
Yeah, don't miss a good opportunity to meet a whole bunch of people across the state.
They care.
We are coming in not to preach. We're coming in to listen and possibly be a peer advisor to get you to look at some different stuff. Okay? Some other options. Please, if you have the opportunity and the time, be there.
Yeah.
Because there's some really cool people that are also going to be there. And I mean, if you care and you want to be a VFD and you want to make your organization stronger, come in. There's people worth listening to there.
Yep, 100%. So one other thing we need to talk about before we go is we talked previously about our working with the Heroes Next Door YouTube channel,
Yes.
and a couple of those videos are out now. And guys, I'm just, I bet I've watched this station tour video 10 times. Uh, it's really awesome. I'm extremely flattered by the comments. Uh, the comments are great. There's a lot of good discussion there.
It appears I tricked them all.
You did a good job. Did a real good job. We'll see how these next couple go. There's a lot more to come, right? Videos done real well for Mike. I think when I just looked a while ago, it was at almost 26,000 views
Holy crap.
for the one that came out basically 7 days ago, 6 days ago. So
Mike's awesome.
Mike is awesome.
He's really awesome to work with. I will say this. I feel like consider this a pro tip. If you would like Mike to possibly come to your district, station, organization, perhaps sending more than a picture of your truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell a story, because that whole thing is about telling a story.
Right.
It's about telling the story of your organization, and I'm gonna make you watch this video to get the story, right? I'm not gonna tell the story here, but there's a lot of cool story in that first video.
Yes.
There's things I didn't know, and I've been here 6-7 years, right? I learned things from watching that video. That's probably part of why I've watched it so many times, because I'm learning stuff about the organization that I actually do care about.
And along the lines of what Jesse's talking about, if you don't know crap about your organization, take 3 seconds to learn about it.
Yeah.
Turns out them old guys, they have value. Learn it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's hands down one of the cooler things. I have a tendency to kick the hornet's nest and make something happen and then step back and let it happen. And I kind of did that on this, right? I approached the thing and got it kind of the ball rolling down the hill to make this happen. And then I just stepped back and just let it happen. And it's very much on purpose. It's not because I can't do the interviews or any of that stuff. I'm fine. I don't care about that. I can do that all day long. But I feel like there's opportunities for others and other things and a different perspective than what my perspective is. And frankly, it's no different than the movie being filmed at our station a couple years ago.
Nightmare. Don't do that.
Yeah, that one's a little different, but I don't need to be a part of the movie. It's just a cool story that there was a movie filmed at our station.
Right.
Our trucks and our people, and the guy that we had to order the oversized Spaceball helmet for to be a firefighting helmet because his head won't fit through the door now. That's all satire and tongue in cheek when I'm saying that, but like,
right. And I was on the verge of being kicked off of the movie set, and I was the chief.
I did get kicked off the movie set, but yeah,
at my own station.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's take a risk. See an opportunity and take it. Stop being so reserved. Don't sit there and worry about the status quo.
And some of these opportunities and some of these things, some of them you ask for, some of them just fall in your lap.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a matter of not saying no And sometimes it's going out and getting it, right?
I don't think we actually plugged the actual channel for the YouTube, though.
Heroes Next Door?
Yeah. I don't think we actually said that.
Yeah.
So go there.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. I'm going to put the Fat Electrician in the description just because I plugged him too, because I thought that was that's really good people. All these people, his video about HEB. If you don't know what's happening with HEB, shame on you for not helping Like, go buy your groceries at HEB. They deserve it.
They helped our community 2013 with the tornado.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely amazing. And they're always there for us as an organization anytime we ask.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I promise you, if we did not go get the cake for our annual Christmas party or go pick that up, they'd probably string us up and kill us.
Yeah, no, I will spare the lady's name, but no, you will pick up the cake.
Yeah.
It's a good cake too, damn it.
But it's because they actually give a crap. It's not because they want, Christmas party sponsored by HEB on the side of the deal. It's because they genuinely care and they want us to have it.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity out there. You just have to be willing to reach out to it.
Yeah. And take advantage of the opportunities that are presented. And if you dive into the Heroes Next Door, you'll learn a little bit more about that.
Right. It's a great YouTube channel.
Yep.
Great
dude.
Yep. What else you got?
That's about it.
You want to wrap it up?
I say we stick a fork in it.
All right. Well, if you ever feel like reaching out to us, find us at ittasteslikeburningcast.com. You can find us on Patreon at ittasteslikeburningcast. And outside of that, look for us on YouTube. It Tastes Like Burning Cast. This Matt.
This Jesse.
Have a good evening.